Yo, it is Tuesday, January 7th, and you're kicking it with Kuya Kicks. I'm currently in Las Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show since I've been asked to speak on an esports panel there. So I went ahead and pre-recorded this to maintain my stream schedule. This 2025, I'm hoping to increase my stream frequency to finally hit my goal of 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So I hope to do some unboxing, revisit some old favorites, do some live stream gaming like Smash Brothers and retro games, interview people in the gaming community and also industry professionals in the toy community as well. So if you're interested in any or all of that, this is definitely the place to be. So please hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment, and support the channel in any way you can. So since I'm at CES, I decided to focus on tech-related toys, and today we will be unboxing the Takara Tomy PlayStation Optimus Prime, which is kind of crazy to even put those words together. But this is an officially licensed PlayStation product released in 2015 for the 30th anniversary of Transformers. And I'm finally going to be taking this one out for air. I think I was teasing either unboxing it with toying around or a couple people in the past, but we just never had enough time to kind of go through this. So here it is in all its glory. Now, most people definitely know me as a Nintendo guy, but when it comes down to Transformers crossovers, it is like hard to say no. So this is very exciting that I'm finally going to get into this because it is a gaming crossover, and there's actually a Megatron companion that they released at the same time, which I'm going to be unboxing in the future. So if you like this video and how it sort of plays out, definitely leave a comment and let me know if you want to see that Megatron, and then I can add that up into the queue of unboxing for 2025. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, let's go into the packaging. So taking a look at this, you see Optimus there with the shape of the matrix of leadership behind him over here, but it's actually in like circuit boards and stuff like that from a PlayStation. I did mention that this is an officially licensed product, so you do see the PlayStation logo on the top right over here, and then also on the chest piece of Optimus right below that Autobot logo, you see the PlayStation logo nice and clear over here. And then you see Optimus Prime featuring original PlayStation written on the bottom with a whole bunch of Japanese characters there. I mentioned that this is a 30th anniversary release, so you can see the logo right there. The Takara Tomy sticker, super tiny. And then some more Japanese writing on the side over here. Take a look at the top. Same thing, Optimus Prime featuring original PlayStation. Same is listed on the side here. Also on this side. And then a whole bunch of legal stuff across the bottom as expected. And when we turn to the back, this is almost completely in Japanese. So I can't tell you what it says, but we can at least go through the different pieces here. So you can see the PlayStation writing on the very top here. You see the alt mode, which is a really cool Gen 1 PlayStation with the controller there. It gets even closer into some of these details where it has the different red, white, and yellow RCA ports there. It has an S-Video port. It has seemingly an optical port as well as the other AV adapter piece. And then you even see a little memory card piece there. And then it actually does come packaged with two little fake discs that we can put into the PlayStation as well. One of them saying golf, and the other one says some type of PlayStation Club disc over here. And then finally, if we take a closer look over here, you see Optimus in all his glory as a PlayStation, which is very, very cool. Now, before we actually open the box, one really cool thing about this packaging, which I will be keeping, is this window. So it has a magnetized window here, And bang, here he is, the PlayStation Optimus Prime through the window. And you can see that Autobot insignia right there in the center. You can see the PlayStation logo and the controller and memory card. Very, very cool. And then on the front over here, again, it is a officially licensed product by PlayStation. You have a couple different renders of Optimus in both the alt mode and the robot mode, the 30th anniversary insignia again. And on the bottom, it has this interesting logo that I've never seen before. This next presented by T Arts. So this is a Takara Tomy, but I don't know if this is a division of Takara Tomy that they are working with to, or worked with rather, to create this. But I don't want to waste any time. I definitely want to get into this box. So let's get into the unboxing. And if you are a PlayStation fan, if you're a Transformers fan, please drop a comment here. Would love some channel engagement and to know, what I should be unboxing in future for the channel for sure. So I just opened up this top piece, and I'm going to go ahead and take this tray out. Oh boy, this has been on ice for at least 10 years, so very exciting to finally take him out. There is this backing that I do want to take a look at as well. And I believe some instructions here too. So usually I throw out the packaging for a lot of domestic figures or things that just have crappy packaging, but this is definitely, a very unique piece that it will not be trashing or recycling. So we'll keep that safely off to the side. And this is just the insert that was behind the figure. So just this grid kind of galaxy, super reflective backing. We'll save that for later. And then we have the discs that were shown on the very back. And then, of course, the instructions. So we will revisit these instructions later on. And let's take a look at the figure a little bit closer. We'll take this tray off so we can get a nice view of Optimus. Just so there's not as much reflection and glare from the packaging. But this is sweet. Let's take a look here. Wow. Very, very cool looking figure here. Has that true to classic Optimus head sculpt. Very clean Autobot insignia, as well as a very faithful PlayStation logo right in the center there. You have our little memory card and controller accessories. So let's go ahead and pull all of these out so we can take a closer look. I'm very excited to mess around with this guy and then also get him into his alt form. So again, set this aside for later. All right, so before we get into the figure, let's go ahead and I can zoom in here. Yeah, let's get closer so you could see Optimus right here. Let's move this over. There we go. That's nice and center right now, but we'll go ahead and first take a look at the accessories in terms of what he comes with. So first and foremost, first thing that you see here is this PlayStation memory card, this classic memory card that we'd have to use for any type of saves. And very cool that it actually has, the sticker on the bottom here, similar to how the original PlayStation memory cards used to have that. And for those that don't know, if you weren't around for this generation of PlayStation, you weren't able to save on the on the console itself, because it was just reading the disk, and there was no like hard drive storage or anything like that that was built into the system. So without this memory card, there is you did not you weren't able to save. So this is certainly something that is you know you needed to use when you were gaming back on Gen 1 of PlayStation. So very cool that this is inserted here. And then the other thing that it comes with is this tiny PlayStation controller. Again, this is the Gen 1 version of the PlayStation controller with the D-pad, and this it actually does press down, which is kind of cool. Same with these buttons. Yeah, so these all press down as well, including, does these start? Yeah, the start and select buttons. So all the buttons press down, which is a really cool um, feature of this accessory. And this is again the first generation of the PlayStation controller. So you'll a couple things that you'll notice is that it does not have the dual shock sticks. So the dual sticks that sit below here, or the rumble, but it does have the double triggers over here as well, and these press down. And then this cord over here with this adapter. So that piece over here would plug into the PlayStation into either port one, port two, or the multi-tap. And it even has these cool little cutouts of how the port used to be. And again, very faithful to the classic PlayStation controller. So very cool piece here. Put this off to the side. And let's get into the figure and take a closer look at him. And Optimus is looking very sweet. Again, very excited to take this out of the box finally. And let's take a closer look. You see that he does have, a very G1 faithful head sculpt. And then he also has the details of original Optimus with the red and blue, or at least around the arms. So a good homage to the original G1 design. But then the rest of the body, for the most part, is very true to just the gray PlayStation, which is nothing wrong with that. And then his little backpack piece over here is, the RCA, all the adapters here to plug into the TV for your left and right audio. Again, I think this one over here is an optical. This one here is the video cable, an S video cable, and just another AV expansion slot over here. So all this is very cool. Definitely takes me back to the 90s when this first came out. And very cool figure. Very cool. So let's take a look at a couple more closer things here and get into the articulation. So let's take a look at the head. This guy is on a ball joint, so you can move side to side, forward, and back. And then it does seem like it's resting on a panel on the inside here, so there's you have the additional ability to look a little bit further and back, just based on the fact that that base piece kind of moves around. Take a look at the arms. So the arms can turn like so. Oops. And there is no butterfly to it, but there is bicep swivel here. Then you have your elbow joint, which goes about 90 degrees. Do that again. Just over 90 degrees. And then this wrist over here turns, and you get a little bit of tilting just because of the way that the transformation works. So you can go forward, but then if you go back, that just kind of ends up tucking it into the Whoops. That mushroom peg just came out. So this will end up just kind of bending in, and then that is to tuck it away for the transformation over there. Whoops. Pops out pretty easily, so just watch out with that arm. Right now, the upper body, there's no ab crunch, but he does have a waist swivel. And it doesn't look like a lot of these panels clip in or tab in. It looks like they're just kind of floating there. So that's one thing to be mindful of as you're posing the figure. Just make sure to hold it in all the right places so that these panels don't shift around like I'm doing right now. So one of those things that I'm learning about with this particular figure here. Just gonna adjust the arm here. I do think that he was a little mistransformed in the display. I think the red arms forward is a better look. And then let's get down to the lower leg area over here. So you can kick. Let's see, does this hip skirt come up? Yes. So this hip skirt folds up to give you more clearance. And then that means you can get the leg up that high. And then that can go back down, fold that hip skirt back down. Let's see, does the back butt flap fold? I don't think the back butt flap folds. I'm not going to force it because I don't want to snap it or get any stress marks. So we can go that far back, but then because of the knee, you could bend at a 90, and it looks like you can go just a little bit further to 90. It's not a double jointed knee. Not going to force it again. And then these thigh, very tight mushroom pegs in there, but you do have a thigh swivel. No boot cut or calf cut below, but the foot, that's already kind of bent forward. You could bend that far down, and then it's on a ball peg, so you do get some ankle rocker, not too much. And then let's take a look at the instructions, because I know that I believe the memory card and the controller get mounted in some way. So we'll go ahead and crack these instructions open. And this is super, super exciting. I mean, it's been a while since I've had this in my collection. I've just kept it on ice for a really long time. Didn't have the display space for it, nor the recording equipment that I have now for streaming and doing all this types of stuff. So this is definitely the time, and very cool that I'm able to take it out finally and share it with the audience here. All right, so it looks like the controller ports into the back of his arm. So what I need to do is grab the controller and just split it in half. So then we have these two separate parts over here. And then it looks like, let's see, this over here ports into the back of his arm. So let's see, I think it's this. So this port around the elbow, and these ports over here on the controller, looks like they click in together. So let's try this. Okay, and that works. Everything is snug right there in the elbow. And I'm not sure what happens with this plug though. So let's see if there's any place to plug it in. I don't see anything here. Let me take a look at the packaging quickly. All right. According to the packaging, it plugs into the controller slot. I just noticed that there's these two hip skirt pieces that were folded out, but I folded them back in. But what you want to do is if you're trying to kick out, you can just fold that up similar to the front skirt, and then you can go and kick out like that. All right, so I'm going to bring that down, and then I'm going to bring this down too. Now getting back to the controller, this can all tab into this controller port on the back of the foot. So what you want to do is take the controller and plug this in like so. So you can see that that is ported in there. And then the other thing that you want to do is use this memory card that's included, and then you can also plug that in to the memory card port. I think. See here. Pretty snug fit. Let's try the other one. We'll try the left leg for that there. There we go. So it does fit there, and you can see the memory card is now ported into the back of the right leg. And then you have the other half of the controller with the face buttons. And very similarly to the other side, you have the socket and the peg, and then you have the matching socket and peg here. So you just go ahead and click these in, and that gets mounted to the back of his elbow like so. So now we'll turn this back down, fix this panel here. As mentioned again, this chest cavity likes to, or chest panel likes to slide around. So just be mindful that again, it doesn't seem to tab in or click in anywhere. So it does float around. But this is the Optimus figure now. Get this construction out of the way. And let's turn his arms in slightly so you can see the PlayStation controllers out on the side. And there you go. You have the controller, the face buttons mounted on the right forearm. You have the directional buttons mounted on the left forearm. And then that tether runs all the way down into the back of the leg, just on the back of the left calf. And then on the right side, you have the memory card on the right calf over here, which is very cool. So that's how you can store all the accessories that Optimus comes with. So very, very, very cool figure. All right. Now, what most people are usually waiting for, and I'm not the smoothest at, but I'm going to go through it anyway, is the transformation. So let's go ahead and get the transformation done. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove all the accessories that we just mounted, just so that we can, get them out of the way. Controller bit 1, controller 2. We'll unplug the controller. And we'll also unplug the memory card. And a very snug fit for the memory card. So just be careful with the memory card and that port over there. I wasn't able to get it into one of them, and it was very, very snug on the other. And then what we'll do with the controller here as well is this piece over here on the inside. It actually turns forward when you're in the bot mode, but then for alt mode, you turn it up so that the wire comes out of the back, just like a regular PlayStation controller. And then you take both of these and then you port them in together like so. And then there you go. You have your controller again, and we'll set that off for the transformation. So let's take a look at the instructions so we can get this guy into his alt mode, which is the PlayStation classic design. So the first thing that the instructions say is to hold the Autobot insignia chest plate up. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So that folds up. And then it also says to bring in these two sides in. So we'll go ahead and do that as well. So turn this and turn this. And then so now we pretty much have the lid of the PlayStation that would cover the disc previously. And then now that we have, looks like I got to line everything up. So let's try this out. Okay, it's looking good there. Looking good, like so. All right, now that looks like a solid lid transformation piece right now. And then it looks like they're asking me to pull this up and over. And then once you have the lid above Optimus's head, then it says to pull Optimus's head down and hide it into the chest cavity. So this Optimus head gets pulled straight down, and we just tuck it into this gap right there. Okay. Now, the next piece of the transformation is to work on the arms. So it looks like we go ahead and turn the arms forward so that the red is facing the front, like so. And then we turn it around. And then as mentioned, with that wrist articulation, we can go ahead and tuck these hands away on the inside there. And you'll hear them click, and we'll do it again on this side. And you'll hear that click. These are nice and snug, tucked away in the back of the figure here. And then looks like we go to the shoulder bits. So it's saying that the shoulders need to turn 90 degrees. So we'll go ahead and turn that, but I wonder where the chest piece goes while I do this transformation. Just a second. So this folds out and rotates like so. Figure out this needs to collapse on it. So hold on, turn like this. And then we'll do it on the other shoulder as well. That turns inwards just like this. Okay, getting close, I think. And then it looks like we need to rotate the arm inwards. And we'll do it again on this side, like so. And then that comes together. And then it looks like this arm folds in like so. Turning this side as well. And then these panels just all rotate together. I'm just trying to go by eye to kind of align this here, and it's looking all right. Looks like the bottom piece just rotates backwards. And then we need to unclip or open up these hinge parts on the side. Okay. And we also need to pull down this crotch piece. Whoops. Which popped off, but that just plugs right back in. There we go. So pull that down. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now we start working on the legs. So it looks like these leg pieces go down somehow. So doesn't really show, but it says seemingly that these panels fold down, or this at least pulls down. There we go. You could pull down the calf part there. And then now we can unfold this part and unfold this part. And then it says, these are not the best instructions, I'm not going to lie. We turn a 180 on the feet, 180 on the feet. And I think everything just collapses on its own. Now I'm going to assume that the legs go out this way. And I'm also going to turn these because I think that they maybe collapse in somehow. There we go. So that's trying to figure out how this folds in. I think, there we go. I think that's working. We're getting close. Trying to figure out how to tuck away this foot. Okay, before we do that, I think the feet need to be tucked in. Let's go ahead and do that. Yep, looks like this blue foot goes in, and this panel ends up coming out. So we'll do that on the other side as well. Just fold the foot in, and there you go. Kind of see if it stays on an angle or not. Yeah, this is now looking flush. Both of these sides are looking flush. And then I just got to figure out how to collapse the legs inside. So let's try this one more time. I'm trying to fold it in. There you go. And I think we just do one of these. There we go. So this as well. Oops. I think I turn it this way. How did I collapse it in? There we go. This all bends into this piece. Oh man, this is so finicky, but we're getting there. This mushroom peg is there we go, a little snug, but there we go. Plug this in. Okay, and now we need to start lining up all these pieces here. There's a couple pegs that tab in. These all tab in as well. That's the front of the PlayStation there. You can see the memory card and the controller ports. And then I'm just going to bring this whole chest cavity piece in. And then I need a tab in to the top. over here. So I'm just trying to line everything up. There is another tab on the side I'm trying to click in here. That's one. Let's try this side here. Okay. Definitely the legs and all that. There's a lot of tension trying to spring everything out. So I'm just trying to get everything lined up. There we go. Now that part in the back is flush. And now let's try and line up the bottom here. That's 1 and 2. This is so this is so tedious, but gotta love the engineering. Just the fact that someone came up with this. There we go. Getting closer. Getting closer. Everything just needs to get squozen together. All nice and squozen. That's a line from Emgo. He's one of the most popular Transformers YouTubers. Jeez, this is very, very finicky. Lots of, I guess, the body parts of Optimus all trying to spring out together. Let's try this again. Yeah, every time I squeeze the bottom parts, then the top parts come out and vice versa. So just trying to make it work here. All right, that works. Get these together again. Yeah, the top and the bottom half do not play nice. Apologies for the delay, but this may be the best. This may be the best that I can do, at least for now. Trying it again. Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, the concept is cool, but definitely hard to execute. All right, let's try one more time to get everything tight. Okay. Says the first thing I got to do is get the middle part together. That's no problem. It's getting the top and the bottom to stay connected. And I don't know if it's the arm or what part of the transformer that's not being cooperative right now. But okay, so the front's together, right? We could say that at the very least. So let's go ahead and get this piece in connected too, right? When I connect this part, it wants to separate there. And when I get this part, separates there. But yeah, there's definitely something a little off in regards to how I aligned some of the internal parts over there. So I'll probably have to revisit this in a better transformation video. It's not the best, but at least for this video, this is as good as it gets for the PlayStation bot mode. So I'll go ahead and fold that, and there you go. Sorry, folks, that's as close as I can get with the time I have for the transformation. But taking a look at the alt mode in general, this can definitely be cleaned up once I figure out how to get all the interior kind of working on. You have the original PlayStation logo, the reset, and the power button on the top, which is very cool. You have your memory card ports, you have your controller ports here, you have your power adapter switch over here, you have all your AV ports and inputs and outputs there. And then you have the bottom over here. And then the cool thing, the open eject button doesn't work, but it is cool that they were able to figure out how to make the lid work. And the whole purpose of that was to load the discs. So these discs, which are just a thin plastic, let's go ahead and open one just to try it out. So you have your discs here, and then you can go ahead and slap that on the inside, and that is pretty cool. Close that in there. So another accessory. Might go ahead and print some, maybe I'll scan these and figure out the exact measurements, print some American discs to load up into this transformer here. Now the other thing that we can do while it's in the alt mode is keep that folded there. Close this up. Again, you have your memory card, right? So the memory card can port into the front. Now this front port is certainly very, very hard to use, but let's try this other one again. Yes, for whatever reason, the second memory port is easier to use. So we'll go ahead and there you go. Memory card is in. And then the controller, you just take this and then that ports in to the bottom. And there you go. You have your little PlayStation and your controller, which I think is pretty neat. Again, I'm still amazed that, I know I didn't get the transformation nailed down completely, but the fact that they were able to engineer this is pretty cool. Now I do want to take these out and do a very quick comparison with something that some of you may have. A couple of years ago, there was a big craze of classic consoles like the NES Classic and SNES Classic and stuff like that. And PlayStation actually released their PlayStation Classic. And I just wanted to do a very quick comparison of the two. So the Optimus PlayStation is certainly smaller. They are pretty much identical in regards to the design because they're both based off the original PlayStation 1 design. The one thing that I'm noticing now after seeing this is that it does not have the Sony logo on the top. But if you look at the front of both of these, you could see the controller ports and the memory card ports. These ones have been replaced with USB ports because that's how the new controllers work. But otherwise, these sides are pretty much the same. This top actually doesn't open. This is just the reset button. Bottom, also very similar, but this actually has a PlayStation sticker or Sony sticker on the bottom of this with the PlayStation Classic. And then taking a look at the back, they just opted for using the HDMI port and the USB micro versus trying to recreate all the original analog, things on the Optimus PlayStation over here. But I did want to do this quick comparison because I guess these are the closest in scale, and then obviously the actual console itself is much larger than both of these, probably the size of both of these combined, and then the same distance kind of going back. So this is the Optimus Prime PlayStation figure. This is the PlayStation Classic that we wanted to kind of take a look at, and definitely, I don't know how you can find this now. Again, this was like 15 years ago or so when this first came out. But if you are a PlayStation, fan and gamer and a collector, then this is certainly something that you might want to add or consider adding to your collection. And like I said, I'll probably go ahead and retransform this and maybe make another video in terms of how I figured out how to squeeze everything into the right into the right orientation to get everything flush. But still, like, not too bad, you know what I mean, on the first go to try and get these through. But compressing all of his arms and legs all into this very boxy sort of shape is very, very cool and very unique. So I'm very happy to finally be able to get this out for air and take a look at it in hand. And I'm not disappointed at all. So very, very cool. I think that is it for now. But I did mention that I'm at CES for the next day. So today's my last day actually in Vegas, and then I'll be flying back tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to record another video, just because I think I'm going to be in the air when I get back. So I'll be covering, because it's CES. I will be covering more tech. And I was thinking actually that I'm going to be probably just doing tech reviews, for the rest of the week, just in the theme of CES while I'm in, because I went to Vegas. And so if you're into, if you're into gaming, if you're into, cameras and other types of technology and stuff like that, I'm certainly going to be taking a look at some stuff. Yesterday we did the review of Mega Man, which is more on the gaming theme. This is also in the gaming theme, but more centric around Transformers and PlayStation. But I do have a bunch of different, tech accessories, whether it be for PC, for Android, for my Osmo Pocket, and other types of stuff like that, that I'm certainly going to be taking a look at. And I did mention that I'm going to be increasing my stream frequency to kind of cover all the things that I'm interested in, including, gaming, esports, different types of technology, camera technology, and collectibles. I'm into Transformers, I'm into Marvel Legends, I'm into a whole bunch of different things. So if that is, your flavor, then this is the channel for you for sure. So again, be sure to, hit me up with a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that as I try to grow my channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And just comment with, what you thought about the PlayStation Classic Transformer, as well as some of the other things that you might like to see. So I know if I should be, increasing more of my Transformers, Marvel Legends, imports, domestic figures, or gaming streams in future. And that'll definitely help dictate the direction that the channel goes to in future. But otherwise, really appreciate you tuning in while I'm at CES, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one. See ya.